tell the truth, the whole truth, the complete truth. For example, a lot of people have a problem in place, but they really haven't gotten down to the details of how bad it is. And we're kind of trained to be positive thinkers. And I recommend you not be positive thinkers. I really don't agree with positive thinking, by the way. I know that some of you think I'm maybe a positive thinker, but I try not to be. I don't want to be negative about this, but I don't agree with positive thinking. I've got to be honest about it, because I want to demonstrate telling the truth. I believe in truthful thinking, truthful speaking. So whatever it is. Alcoholics Anonymous, decades ago, came up with this concept of telling the whole truth as the first step in recovery. To say, I got a problem with alcohol, or I have a problem with drugs, or I have a problem with food, or I have a problem with whatever it is. And to detail that out, to hold nothing back, to go to the very depths and recesses and tell it all. So I'm recommending you should tell the truth. Not just about your problem, by the way. You should tell the truth about your desires. I joked about this earlier, which is that if you go to people in your life and tell the truth about what you want, a lot of those relationships will get fixed. Some of you, the problem that you've written about is a relationship problem. And I'll bet anything that you haven't told the truth, the whole truth. And I said, well, of course not. Well, I'm married to him. You don't tell the truth to your spouse, do you? Well, yeah, that's what I'm recommending. I mean, just try it on. Hey, what can happen? What's the worst that can happen? He'll divorce you. She'll divorce you. I mean, well, then you've solved the problem. You no longer have a relationship problem. Now you've got another problem, which is to find a different spouse. Or your boss. Look, if you're having troubles, if it's work-related, I'm suggesting you actually tell the truth, the whole truth, to your boss. So what? You get fired. You say, well, that's a tragedy. No, it's not. It's a demonstration you told the truth. My daughter graduated, one of my daughters graduated last year from college, last June, and she went out and got a job, and she'd been working there a few months, and she called me up and said, oh, Dad, this is, I don't know, I just haven't been able to reorganize the company yet. And I said, well, yeah, you've been there 3 months, you should have had a pretty big impact by now. And she said, well, I'm just afraid that if I, speak up, I'm going to get fired. And I said, oh, Sarah, I hope you do. What? I said, no. I mean, I think it would be a good idea if you got fired. It says, until you get fired 4 times per year, until you get fired 4 times in a year, I'm not even going to be concerned. Now, once you get to about your 4th firing of the year, then let's talk. Then, maybe you're doing something wrong. But until then, you're probably just telling the truth and finding a better and better employer. See, because you can't find the right employer if you withhold yourself. Because your employer doesn't know who you are. Besides, it's hard to get a raise when you don't reveal that the emperor has no clothes. Because when you become the one who reveals that the emperor has no clothes, you become very valuable. Now, I'm not just talking about work here. I'm talking about at home, with your children, if you have children, with your spouse, with your parents. All of that. It's really risky here, folks, to be candid, outspoken.